Most people assume that if you want to sharpen a knife or polish a piece of metal, you need a massive, loud bench grinder that takes up half the workbench. But this little stainless steel unit from GDLIN completely flips that script. It is surprisingly small, barely bigger than a couple of smartphones stacked together, yet it packs enough punch to handle everything from woodworking projects to fine jewelry polishing. What really catches the eye is the build quality. It is all 304 stainless steel, which gives it a solid, heavy feel that you just don't get with plastic hobby tools. It sits on these little rubber feet that actually do a decent job of keeping the vibration in check, so it doesn't go dancing across your desk when you crank the speed up. Speaking of speed, that 795 motor is the real star here. You get 7 different settings, and at the top end, it hits 9,000 RPM. That is plenty of torque for grinding down steel or shaping wood. The forward and reverse switch is a nice touch, especially if you are trying to get a specific edge on a blade without having to constantly reposition yourself. Now, the 15-degree fixed angle guide is clearly designed for people who aren't professional bladesmiths. It takes the guesswork out of sharpening, which is great for beginners, though more experienced users might find the fixed guide a bit limiting if they prefer custom angles. One thing to keep in mind is that because it is so compact, the belt size is quite specific. You get 30 belts in the box, which is a massive win, but you will eventually need to source these 330 by 30 mm replacements. It is not a deal breaker, just something to keep in mind for the long haul. The noise level is surprisingly manageable, too. It's not silent, obviously, but it doesn't have that high-pitched whine that makes you want to wear ear protection just to touch up a kitchen knife. The whole kit is pretty comprehensive, including the polishing wheels and compound, so you can go from a dull, chipped edge to a mirror finish without buying anything else. If there is a downside, it is that the power adapter connection can be a little finicky if you don't push it in all the way, so just make sure it is seated properly before you start wondering why it won't spin. Honestly, for anyone doing DIY crafts or just wanting to keep their tools in top shape without dedicating a whole garage to the equipment, this thing is a clever, space-saving solution that actually performs. It is not going to replace a heavy-duty industrial sander, but for the size and the price, it is hard to find much to complain about.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.